Alrighty, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome to another live reaction. And today we're going to be talking about the Blizzard, the whole shenanigans that are going with Activision Blizzard, and how they're basically being sued by the state of California for the Department of Fair Employment and Housing, of how there has been some sexual harassment allegations being brought against them. Now, at first, I wasn't going to say anything. I didn't feel like it was really something that, I wanted to kind of throw my hat in my 2 cents. But at the end of the day, I just can't help myself. So here I am. And so let's just talk about the ridiculousness. Sorry, let me adjust my volume here. The ridiculousness of this lawsuit, not in the sense that it's not justified, because just reading what is going on, it's look, this isn't just some hearsay, oh yeah, I felt discriminated because someone looked at me type of situation. If you read the lawsuit, which is available to everybody, some of the incidences that they describe here are very specific and very troubling. It's not just some kind of just some kind of one woman or even a few women's interpretation of what they feel is sexual harassment. It's these weird practices of crawling through desk or under the desk of female employees, and then basically, doing stuff that's really inappropriate. And there's a lot of other situations where male coworkers are treated completely differently. A lot of this, they have to obviously prove in court, but they're not going to bring these lawsuits and allegations without proof. They're not going to just have 5 or 10 people say stuff and then be like, all right, we'll just throw this lawsuit against them and maybe we'll and just to get their name out there. Some people even want to say oh, you know what, there's zero evidence against this, and people are just trying to bring down the name of Activision Blizzard. It's look, maybe that could be true, but if you think about it, if the state of California brings all this stuff to court and this lawsuit, and they have nothing to back it up, and at the end of the day, Activision wins because there's nothing to prove out these allegations, then the state of California looks like an idiot. Not only that, but they wasted a ton of taxpayer money pursuing this lawsuit for nothing. Now the people of California are gonna be pissed because it's dude, you took all this time to do, basically to waste all of our taxpayer money to pursue a frivolous lawsuit. So both sides have so basically what I'm trying to say is, the state of California is not going to bring this up for nothing. There's seriously something wrong going on at Activision Blizzard that they need to be addressed. So it's really enlightening to see what's happening. And so far, only 2 Activision Blizzard execs have actually, or previous execs have actually made an apology, which was ex-CEO Matt Morhaime, I think if I said his name correctly, which was one of the founders of Blizzard, who basically said, I'm sorry, we failed. He's not even a part of the company anymore, and he actually, is being sincere, whereas current execs have done nothing but have not apologized for any of it. Which is probably something brought on by their PR team, but someone seriously needs to talk to their PR team and be like, yeah, you need to apologize. But they're probably saying to them, don't apologize, because the second you apologize means you're admitting fault or some crap like that. But, which is really sad. I guess they can't really say anything until after court hearings and an actual trial, I guess, but that's also you know what, you need to say something that's just not like, hey, these allegations are false or like, exaggerated, and we're being, framed for something. You need to be like, I mean, and they're also saying things to the workers who are part of this lawsuit, like, oh, hey, if there's any problems, go talk to HR. It's like, dude, they talked to HR already, and they have done nothing about it. It's kind of like, it's the same. It's like saying like, oh yeah, like if you see a crime, go report it to the police. But if the police don't do anything, then where are you going to report it to? Like, you can't keep telling people to go through your processes if the processes don't work. The protocols are not happening there. People are basically just doing whatever the heck they want, and no one, and even when it's something as egregious as sexual harassment, nothing is done about it. Like, it's absolutely shocking when what some of the things that have been listed here. I mean, a girl even committed suicide because of this stuff. Like, so, I mean, sure, it's still an allegation and it's still not like considered, I guess you can say, proven, but it's like, how did this like slip by people, right? Like, how did people like not pay attention when like a person took their life due to this type of stuff? Like, I mean, I guess it's like a PR nightmare in some shape or form, but like, you really just gonna sweep it under the rug and just pretend like it never happened so that like you can protect one brand? It's like, come on, bro. And like the worst of it, all this, or like, you would think like this could not get worse, but then Activision Blizzard executive Fran Townsend, who is like, I guess, a very high level exec, like I'm not sure if she's C-level executive, but pretty high up there. Like, she is senior level. She's in charge of probably thousands of people. Basically released a tone deaf statement saying like, hey, look, all this allegation stuff is like completely false, and I personally have never felt anything like this myself, and I love Blizzard, even though she's only been at the company for like less than, pretty much, I think she's been there the shortest out of all the executives. She has not been there as long as any of the other female employees that are part of this lawsuit. And also, she comes from a position of power. Like, she is sitting on top of a pedestal saying like, oh, well, no one's ever put like any kind of power over me. Because like, dude, there's like only 4 people above you, or, however many, like less than probably a dozen. So who can really push you into, not that she would be impossible for her to face sexual harassment, but like, when you're in a position of power, and you're in a name in this space, like, not someone can't just randomly, come at you with nothing, with sexual harassment when you have so much, support around you. It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's like a rich person just telling poor people to just stop being poor and to work harder and to make more money, without realizing how hard it is to actually make more money. It's like, oh, why are you hungry? Just eat more food. It's like, that's not how it works here. Like, and the fact that she even sent that type of email and and whatever else she put out there just so that like Activision can save face and be like, look, one of our women employees supports us. It's like, yeah, way to pick like the queen or like the princess of the castle to speak for the servant that is being beaten to death every day. It's like, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. Like, it's absolutely insane of how Activision is actually handling this, and they really need to just like stop with any kind of PR moves right now and just be like, all right, like, hey, look, we see the allegations, we want to talk to our employees, and we want to handle this, and we're going to do a full investigation. Done. Like, just shut up after that. Just don't say anything else. And maybe the only thing you do want to say is like, oh yeah, we're gonna get like a third party. We're not gonna use internal investigations because internal clearly has not been working. We're gonna use some kind of third party, I don't know, HR program, whatever, and investigate this, and then and that way we can have like some kind of impartial judgment in terms of like what's going on, instead of not just like, oh yeah, like we're gonna investigate it ourselves and get back to you, because that's clearly been not the right issue, or not the right way of doing things. But yeah, I'm really curious to how this is gonna really play out, and and if you're interested, again, you can go find the lawsuit. Like, as you can see here yourself, like it's 29 pages. I read through like the first like 15, and it's a lot of legalese and stuff. So if you can handle through that, then go for it. But I was just like, after reading through some of it, I was like, I can't believe like what some of this is saying. Like, it's absolutely shocking. But also, you have to dig through a lot of like, as indicated by its 2021 Form 10K Blizzard Entertainment, Activision Blizzard, and along with King Digital, it's like you have to read through a lot of crazy, like just everything is described, or like every little thing has to be listed out with like what codes are being broken. So it can get a little dry, but once you get through most of it, like what you actually see, in terms of like factual allegations, and then government enforcement action allegations, and then other things as well. What sexual harassment, or like, they note the stories. Those are the parts that get like really crazy, and like it's just really sad that this is happening. And and what's worse is like there are people who are just like, oh, this is like crazy, like these women are just whining or whatever. I'm like, dude, if it was like one or two, like it'll be hard to prove out. But when you have like, I'm not sure they list the exact number of people here, but clearly like the issues are so far that it's like they got to attention of an entire state. Clearly these are happening to more than just one or two women. It's happening to a lot of women, and also women of color as well. And it got so far as the entire, attention of the entire state of California. Like, there is something wrong here. And even if like 99% of this stuff is like, oh, like misinterpreted, but even 1% of it is true, there's an issue that's going on here. Like, if any, like, no employee should ever feel like they should be, be threatened by a superior or anybody at a company, like, and I feel like a lot of men don't get the issue here. Like, I and we as men, like, we will never, like, or rarely will ever have to like fear a female, like, that's that's in a higher position than us, threatening us with sexual harassment. I'm not saying that's never happened. I'm sure it's happened in some shape or form. But if you want to compare like how often it happens to women versus men, it's night and day, all right? It's going to happen to a lot more women because, let's face it, men, like, for some reason, like, have this, kind of superiority complex that they think, like, they can have over another gender. And it's really sad, and it's like, and it's there, and like, a lot of people like to deny it's not there, but it's it's been proven time and time again, because there's been so many sexual harassment cases against men against men that they've conducted against women versus women against men. Like, it's just there, So, and again, I'm not saying it doesn't happen to men, but it's like a drop in the bucket if you want to compare the two. So, but anyways, that's just kind of my 2 cents on this whole thing. It's just still kind of crazy to me that that in 2021, that this type of stuff is still so prevalent. Like, I thought we've gone to the point where, we can see genders as equal people. We're on the same playing field, but clearly we're not. You would think these companies who profess themselves to be like, forward moving and progressive, and, and also top leaders of this industry, to be better than what they are, but they're not. So, yeah, I'm going to be trying to at least following this. I've set up like some Google alerts to see what's going on in the next few months and see how long this case draws out, and then hopefully I'll come back with some more updates on this. But anyways, that's my 2 cents on this. Let me know what you guys think of the whole situation down in the comments. Do you believe them? Do you not believe it? Like, how do you think like Activision is actually, what is your opinion on how Activision is actually handling this? I think they're handling it pretty poorly, but I don't know, what you guys feel. Anyways, you guys have a good day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. Tell someone you love them, and please don't be like Blizzard. Or don't be like Activision.